Carton. Whoever wants the mic first, please let me know.
John, talk about that defensive performance. Probably one of the most complete of the year.
Yeah, I think, like you just said, it's the most complete of the year. We've had some really good halves throughout the season. I feel like overall, a lot of young guys stepped up at the end. That was cool to see. I feel like that was a good point to build off of, too, for next week.
Seems like week after week you guys have played against teams who basically played two quarterbacks throughout the entire game. Are you guys tired of that? But also, what does that say about this defense to be able to, run across the field time after time against two different quarterbacks?
Yeah, we definitely have to do our assignment more. Like you said, it's two quarterbacks, so we got to go off that. But we're just, whoever's on the field, there's 11 players at the field, so we're just going against whoever we're going against, and we'll take care of itself.
John, you guys have had, obviously, to really go into your guys' depth in the DB core. Some of the freshmen are really stepping up today. How have you seen some of the young DB core just kind of growing right in front of your eyes and seen them perform tonight?
Yeah, it's been awesome. Throughout camp, we've seen a lot of those guys play. We knew they could play. Obviously, injuries happen, next man up, and they just continue balling out. It's fun to watch.
Did you guys change anything specifically during the week heading into Stanford to help out your defense?
No, just continue to do what Coach Bray says. He's got a great scheme. Continue to build on our fundamentals and just go off of that.
Go ahead.
John, just talk a little bit about how important this game was for you guys to kind of fine-tune, so to speak, ahead of two very important matchups you guys got to close out the regular season.
Right. Yeah, we got to, at the end of the day, this was our next game, so it's the most important one. But just continue to fine-tune that. It was great to see a full, complete game. I don't think we've had a really dominating win like that in a long time, so that was great to see, and it's leading into another great team coming up.
John, ESPN has announced that they're going to go to James Madison next week for the game day. Have you guys talked about that yet, and what are your thoughts?
Nah, we haven't talked about it. It's disappointing, but at the end of the day, it's another game. That's just outside noise to us. We got to focus on what we got to do. It's a top 10 ranked game, so it's going to be awesome, and we're just going to go out there and play our game.
And speaking of that, how do you feel about the Husky game here at Reeser?
It's going to be unbelievable. I know the atmosphere of Beaver Nation is going to be behind us. It's going to be awesome.
I know you talked about the two quarterback things a little bit, but they're somewhat unique in that they roll both of them out of the field at the same time. What are you guys watching for when they're both out there?
We're just looking at different tendencies that they have, whether they're more of a run when there's two, trick plays. We just continue to build off of that. We just watch film and see what they do, see what their tendencies are.
Just curious, it was Hall of Fame week. Did you hear from either, any of the Beaver greats that were in town, Steven Jackson or Mike Hass or?
Yeah, so it was awesome. They came in actually at our team meeting yesterday. All four of them talked to us. It was just great seeing all those guys. And obviously, Coach Riley was here.
Yeah.
He was actually one of the first people I talked to when I came here. So it was great seeing him again and all that together.
John, you guys have had some difficulty kind of holding out opponents in the second and fourth quarter. What did you guys learn from that Colorado game that kind of you think allowed you guys to be so much more dominant through all four phases of tonight's game?
I think just don't let up. You saw we continued to apply pressure at the end there. Even when the young guys came in, it was next man up. Like, we didn't care who was in front of us. We were going to go win the one-on-one. So I think that's just how we have to continue to have our mentality and continue to build off of it.
Sort of looking forward, how big is it to, have a game like this, like you said, play those complete fourth quarters, setting up for that next big matchup?
Yeah, it's huge. It sets a tone. We know what we can do. We just put it out there. That's our standard from here on out. So that's what we got to do.
Thank you, John. Thanks,
Thank you, guys.
All right, questions for Katan?
Ton, great overall defensive performance. I think 4 sacks, 4 turnovers. Did you see this coming in? Did you think this team was going to perform like this today?
Yeah, this is the standard that we should do every week, honestly. With guys, getting upfield, our D linemen getting upfield, our DBs challenging them, and stopping the run. I feel like this should be the standard for our defense every week.
Talk about those two picks. What did you see in each one?
shout out John McCartan for the first one. He was rushing the quarterback on the first one, and I just hybrid the ball. And shout out my guys for blocking, even though they gave us a blindside on that one. It was fine. And the second one, just see ball, get ball. But at the end of the day, I only make the plays with the front seven, getting after the quarterback, getting him uncomfortable, and throwing some bad balls at him.
Katan, just kind of talk about this game as a whole, just kind of getting you guys ready for the final two games, and then obviously thinking back to the game against Washington last year, that was just a heartbreaker for you guys up there. Is this one you guys have had circled this season?
I mean, at the end of the day, our biggest game is the next game. So our biggest game was this game, and so now our biggest game is Washington. We definitely have a bad taste in our mouth from last year. But at the end of the day, we want to regroup and just go out there and execute, play our best ball this coming Saturday.
Seems like week after week you guys have played against a team who plays two quarterbacks all throughout the game. What does that say about this defense to be able to, research two quarterbacks throughout the week and know their tendencies to be able to put a performance like this out?
I think it shows that we're getting after the quarterback, affecting him physically, and that it's just you got to do more than one thing to affect our defense, and I think that shows really how smart and how much we have to game plan, for teams to do different stuff, because they can't just do their basic things, so they always have to do trick plays. So I think it's really crucial for our defense to have great eyes and great attention to detail.
And then obviously going forward, you're gonna just play against one quarterback in these last two teams. Is that a bit more relaxing for you guys out there on defense?
I mean, it was the top two quarterbacks in the league, so it's not that relaxing. The best two quarterbacks are going to play all year. But I think at least we know they're not going to run the ball that much. But no, we gotta go out there and make both these last two quarterbacks uncomfortable. They both have great receivers. Washington and Oregon, so we have to go out there and challenge the receivers, and they both have a good run game. Washington has a good O-line. Oregon has some great running backs. So we got two great games ahead of us.
Katan, I just gotta ask, how good did it feel to finally get that pick this late in the season?
It felt great. Coaches and players have been messing with me all year from not having the pick, so finally feels great to have some.
Katan, I know this defense obviously has prided itself on being, again, one of the top in the nation. You guys, of course, have had your couple ups and downs this season. Where do you guys feel like you're at right now, again, heading into this last 2-week stretch that by many are considering potentially the toughest stretch of your guys' 2023 season?
I think it's always, with our mindset, the culture we built here, it's always a chase for perfection. So I think it's always trying to play our best ball this Saturday, play our best game this Saturday. So, everything that's happened has happened, Wazoo, Arizona. At the end of the day, we got to go out there and do our jobs and execute.
John mentioned that the Oregon State players that were inducted into the Hall of Fame this week, he came and spoke with you guys. What do you take away from that?
It's Alexis. Alexis Serna has been here for a while, and he does his beyond football, and he's a great support system here. And Mike Riley was actually working with the tight ends my freshman year, so I do remember that. And Mike Haas, even though he went to Jesuit. It's just great stories of walk-ons. Coach Smith was a walk-on too. It gives a lot of guys, a walk-on myself, gives a lot of guys inspiration that you set your mind to it and you really put the work in, that you can do whatever
ESPN has announced that they're not going to come here for game day next. Are you aware of that, and what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I'm aware of that. And at the end of the day, we got to win the game. Either if game day was here or not, we're still just trying to win the game.
Thanks, Katan.
Appreciate you.
Oh, thanks. All right, next up, Andrew Chatfield.
What's up, guys?
You went out there with the injury in the second quarter. What happened, and how are you doing?
It's nothing crazy. It's just a little stinger.
You going to be okay?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
You got after the quarterback real early. How did you feel about the way you guys played on defense?
Just the way we practiced. That was just our whole mindset. We came with a dominated mindset of not letting these guys really get around the touchdown at all. But that was our whole mindset. But we had a little mistakes, but we'll fix it.
Huge game coming up this week with Washington. What are your thoughts about the Huskies?
Great team. Played against these guys before. Just understanding what type of team this is, and we know they flip the ball, so we're gonna see how this work out.
Andrew, you said last weekend you really are starting to kind of feel yourself right now. I think you even said after the pick that you were him. 2 sacks and interception. Just what's really clicking for you right now?
Just staying disciplined to my routine, doing what I need to do day in and day out. And also just listening to my coaches and understanding that they put us in the best position and actually trusting my coaches and trusting the plays that they are calling. So I think that's right now is just, I think it's taking a right now.
The pressure you guys have been getting all season long on the quarterback has been a 9-day difference from last season. Where do you think that kind of clicked this year from last year that kind of changed your guys' momentum to go get the quarterback down so much?
Just understanding our past mistakes, just knowing, okay, you know, we let this happen too much, we let this happen too much, and just trying to knock down things one by one. So that was our biggest thing.
We've asked the 2 guys, you are newer here, so you maybe don't know all the guys that were inducted in the Hall of Fame. What did you take away from, Steven Jackson or Mike Hass's talk with you guys?
So the funny thing is, I looked up to Steven Jackson, so
Okay.
I knew he played here.
Yeah.
So Steven Jackson was the reason why I wanted to play football. I thought I was going to be a running back,
Wow.
but that didn't work out. So, so just being those guys and understanding their legacy and when they left here just made me just really want to play like as a B.
Drew, you talked a little bit about the game against Washington last year, knowing how tough of an opponent they are. How much does that kind of lead into your guys' prep this week, kind of looking ahead to the Huskies and knowing you guys will need to play a near perfect game to be a really good team?
Yeah, just understanding, like I said, we gotta look at the film. On Monday, we gotta look at the film, understanding okay, this is the type of team we were playing against. We know they want to throw the ball. We know they love to air it out. I love teams that love to throw the ball. I like to affect the quarterback on that. So yeah, we're gonna see how that works.
For most of the season, it seems like you guys have played against a couple teams that run out 2 quarterbacks at the same time. What does it say about this defense to be able to, research 2 quarterbacks, their tendencies, and be able to go out there and put on a performance like this?
Yeah, it's hard to play against us. Yeah, we're dogs. This defense right here is the most. I played on a different team before, but this team right here, people are really estimating us, and we're just after them every single play. And I just love how our defensive coordinator is calling plays, and our defensive coordinator just telling us, he's like, hey, we follow the game plan. Quarterbacks ain't gonna be able to finish the game like that. So.
And then John and Katan also mentioned that this is the new standard for you guys. How can you use a game like this and take that into the next year?
Just being disciplined and understanding that the success is not, we're grateful for the success, but we just gotta stay disciplined to what we do as a defense.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
God bless y'all. Have a good one.
All right, next up, we got Jermaine Terry.
How do you feel about teammate Damien Martinez reaching over 1,000 rushing yards on the season?
He just hit 1,000?
Yep.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Great, great accomplishment for him. Great accomplishment for us as a team, just to see, where we're striving individually for sure. But overall, it's an excitement around here. All of us got a lot of potential. Just got to continue going out there and playing our best football.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through that touchdown pass? Or did you think that ball was coming to you, he was, rolling the other way?
I mean, you definitely always want the ball to come to you, so you can't be shocked when it comes. If anything, I saw him with pressure. I was like, possibly it's not happening. But when I saw it in the air, all I knew is, I got to make a play. Right? That's really about it. And then after that, it just all happened. It's just a surreal feeling, to be honest. All glory to God. I'm just thankful for the opportunity.
Jermaine, this is by far the best first half performance you guys have had all season. What really clicked for you guys offensively tonight?
Everything, to be honest. The play calling, the effort that we put out. I think the biggest thing was Coach Smith, letting us know this isn't a trap game. Every game matters. We just need to go out there and put our best foot forward and, play our best ball. And I think that's something that we did today. That's all we played. It's really just the trust that we have in each other, the loyalty. And that's really about it.
Do you think this is something you guys can take forward, especially obviously heading into next week with Washington?
Definitely. I feel like, to be honest, with us heading into Washington, it's even better. We're going to definitely put our best foot forward no matter what. And
we just gotta continue to strive and get better week by week, no matter what the outcome is.
You transferred to Oregon State from Cal.
Yeah.
How big is it to have your first touchdown against Cal's big rival, Stanford?
It's always big. I ain't never lost to the trees, so it's gonna stay that way. I mean, like I said though, you know, all glory to God. It's definitely just a great moment for me and my family for sure. Just really just grateful. A lot of gratitude for me. First touchdown ever. It's my third year. That's kind of crazy. So it's good. It's a great feeling.
As a pass catcher, when a guy like that in the backfield has it going, are you just like, forget it, don't even worry about passing me, just keep feeding him?
To be honest, you definitely try to be unselfish no matter what. You know, definitely have some talent here inside the tight end room, the running back room. So even when it's not going my way, I know that as a team we're succeeding. So that's really all I'm worried about is making sure at the end we get a win. And it's just great to see everybody strive for this greatness that we're trying to reach.
The offense obviously was in a groove, you know, from the get-go of this
Yes,
game.
sir.
Was that something that kind of blended in from the practices this week? Do you feel like the offense was clicking all throughout the week?
Definitely. I feel like when we played against Colorado, that definitely wasn't our best game. You know, we ended up with a win. You always win with a win. But we definitely made an effort to try to improve in some areas that we liked in. And it really transferred over. I think being at home is big for sure. You practice where you play, and I think that's great. Just to see the fans supporting everything, just thankful for it all.
Thanks, Jordan.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You guys have a nice day.
Thanks.
I know, those are so hard to catch.
I know.
Okay, next up, Damien Martinez.
Hello.
Hey, Damien. You came into this game, you're having a really good year, but not so many touchdowns. 4 tonight, all in the first half even. Did you have a feeling that something was going to go right today, and what were you seeing out there?
I mean, O-line was doing their thing, really, you know, as you can see, they were doing their thing, it allowed me to do my thing, so, yeah.
How good does it feel as a running back to kind of have your day done by partway through the third quarter?
I mean, it definitely feels good, you know, I take as many hits, I guess, for the next 2 quarters, but yeah, get to see my other guys getting in and do their thing. Wright even got some touches, Jake Wright running hard, so yeah, it was nice to see.
Damien, your 4 touchdowns tonight, obviously you did it in front of Hall of Fame legend, obviously Steven Jackson, tying a record that Jackson himself has as well, along with many other great Oregon State running backs. What does that mean for you to be able to hit that record tonight?
No, that was crazy. I learned about that midway through the game too, and by halftime I could have got 5 or 6. I thought, Coach Smith took me out, pulled me early, but yeah, it was nice to see my guys get in and do their thing too.
Did you and Smith have a conversation all at halftime, knowing that the record was like close at hand, and you know, asking him, hey, can I go back in, or what was that conversation like?
No, I mean, it just after that first drive of the third quarter, it was like, hey, you're done, and that's about it. But yeah, you know, these next 2 games coming up too are big, so it's kind of also what I thought about, so excited for them.
Damien, talk a little bit about what you remember from that Washington game last year, and how motivated will you guys be entering this matchup? Obviously, you know, it being the last home game of the year, but just specifically from the heartbreak of that last year's matchup.
I mean, yeah, last year's matchup, I know for the older guys, they definitely want that one back, but I think just it being the last home game and just being a home game in general is really what fires us up, you know, to defend the home and yeah, get that one back. Like I said, we came up short, just gotta execute.
I don't know if there was any truth to it, but at halftime they were talking upstairs saying that they might have run out of fireworks if you guys kept scoring touchdowns. What does that make you think about it? Is that sort of now a goal for you guys to just keep finding end zone like that?
Oh, what's 62 points? So yeah, I guess now we know what to do now. So get some more for next home game.
Hi, what's your thoughts on you surpassing 1,000 rush yards this season?
That definitely feels good. You know, I was 8 yards shy last year. Got hurt in the bowl game, but yeah, definitely feels good getting that.
Thanks, Damien.
You're good.
Thank you.
That's all right.
Obviously, pleased with the outcome, the performance, these guys flying around, the crowd was phenomenal again. So it's tough to win this league, and we came out from the start. I thought these guys were prepared, ready. I do echo the maturity of this team. Yeah, there's a lot in front of us. So we got big games coming, and all of this, they locked in at the task at hand, and come out coming from the first play, and so really appreciate that maturity of these guys. Questions?
Coach, just talk about Damien Martinez and his performance tonight.
Yeah, really good. I hope he was up here talking about the guys in front of him, creating some of that, but I do think his instincts took over tonight. It was awesome to see him get to the second level and be able to extend it, longer runs, 30, 40, 50-yard type runs. Instincts, he cuts the ball back a couple of times. That's not how we're blocking it. It's front side play. He cuts the thing all the way back. He was awesome tonight.
The 4 touchdowns he had, this is a record that stood since the 1960s and has been done by several Hall of Famers, Jaquiz Rogers, Steven Jackson. For him to do that tonight, especially with Jackson at Research Stadium, I mean, what does this say about Damien Martinez as not only a person, but as a player?
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe ask Dame on that with Stevie J back here, but, I mean, he's in that conversation with those type of backs. This guy's been here making big-time plays, and he rose to the occasion. We did want to come and had some stuff in the run game that we felt good about, and he showed up.
Coach, talk about the O-line a little bit. It looked like the holes were as big as they've been all year.
Yeah, they've been big, and those guys went to work. Again, with Levin good down, Grant Stark has another nice game, Tanner Miller at center, and then Henley and obviously Josh Gray-Tolley have been huge for us. That group's pretty effective, and we're going to need them in the next few weeks.
Coach, some greats back today. Coach Riley, Steven, Mike Hass. Talk about what they told the team and maybe your conversations with them over the past day or two.
Yeah, it's awesome to see those guys kind of back around. We did have them in our team meeting last night, and really we just wanted to recognize them from the football program. Those 4 guys, because during the game, TV timeout, we're locked in when they're getting introduced and all that, and so we do want to pay credit to those guys that laid a foundation around here. And then I got the opportunity to just kind of tell stories. Mike Hass come in here, walk on Jesuit High School, 3,000-yard receiving years. It was awesome to talk about Cerna in regards to his career, big time season, winning the best kicker in the world and all of that, but just talk about responding. His first start didn't go the way he wanted, but he kept on battling in his career, similar to what we want to do as a team in regards to be able to respond, not react. Talked about Stevie J around here, by far the best player in the locker room, his 3 years here, but we talked about being the star of the team is the team, and that was Stevie J to a T. I mean, this guy was a big-time player, but wasn't worried about his carries or his attention, was all about winning the game. And then, with Coach Riley, obviously winningest coach this place has ever seen. Talked about me personally and what my development, my growth, my first exposure as a player, and all of that. So it was awesome to have those, along with Bob DeCaris.
Yeah, I was gonna,
Around with Bobby D to be here, to have him get recognized, what he's done for this place. Bob the Builder, that stadium is rocking, and he has a part of getting that started, of changing the landscape of Research Stadium. So special thanks.
I was looking for him today, but did he seem genuinely excited about what has happened?
I think so.
Okay.
Disappointed. I did try to get somewhat close to him there when he's getting recognized, but I didn't get the chance to talk to him.
Chatfield has really taken his game to another level the last couple of weeks. What does he bring to that defense? It seems like his speed for a defensive lineman is exceptional.
Yep, he's got some athleticism, speed off the edge and all that. Shoot, he's catching the ball. He might have as many interceptions as sacks. Okay. He's been a difference maker. I do think the guys next to him are helping him out. Some of this is schematics. Now we're trying to create an edge for Chat, but those guys inside doing their job. Siona continues to make it physical. Joe Golden, Hodge is in there doing some stuff. So got a good group.
Jonathan, 2 huge games obviously in front of you, and I know you hope to be in this position. Can you just talk a little bit about next week and what could still take place for the Beavers this season?
Yeah, again, counting on the maturity of the team. It's going to be big games. It comes down to the small details, the focus, the preparation you put into it. And again, we've set the stage. We talked about it this week, wanting to set the stage to play in big games, and we got a huge one coming in Research Stadium. It's going to take all of us in regards to everyone in the locker room, but everyone in those seats. It's got to be the best atmosphere we have seen at Research Stadium.
Jonathan, midway through the 4th quarter, I saw you take your headsets off and go and talk to Ben Goldberson. I'm guessing you were asking if you wanted to go in, you did put him in there. What was the thought there?
Yep, a little bit of just paying respects to him, where the game was at, and yeah, he did want to go in the game. I thought it was awesome for our crowd to recognize him when he went into the game as the Las Vegas Bowl MVP. Special moment. This guy has been working, he's done a ton for our program, and he's been awesome this season. Yeah, those were his first snaps this week, but he has contributed to help our team be where we're at now.
Jonathan, going back to the, looking ahead to Washington, we got a chance to talk to some of the guys, and most of them that were here remember, how painful that loss was last year. Do you think there'll be some extra motivation from the guys, given that it's senior day, and looking to, for lack of better terms, avenge that loss from last year?
Yeah, I think there'll definitely be emotion. Like you say, it's senior day, those things are always, especially early in the game, our emotional last home game for us, a big time opponent. I know we got a bunch of respect for what they've done this year. So I don't know if we need added motivation from last year, kind of where the stage is at, what we've got for this season. Obviously what they got going is it's a big game.
Word got around in the second half that ESPN Game Day is not going to come here next week. A lot of disappointed fans. How about you personally and the team?
Not huge on my end, I'll be honest. I'm looking forward to, we got a great kickoff time at 4:30, and we got a great opponent coming in, and so hadn't put a lot of thought into it.
Jonathan, you guys have had to go through quite a bit of adversity this season, honestly. The 2 losses to Washington and Arizona, heartbreaks for Beaver fans out there. Do you feel like those losses, though, have helped you get to the point where you guys want to be right now, heading into Washington next week and Oregon the week after?
I think we definitely try to learn from losses, right? It helps us recognize how difficult it is to win in this league. And so, each week we're back to a process, win, lose, or draw. We're going to be back, clean some things up, and focus on the next opponent. We've tried to do that week in and week out, and we're going to have to do it this week.
Obviously, it's a big game coming up, and mentalities are going to be pretty strong. And I feel like it's going to be a pretty heated game, but also it's important to keep the team loose. And do you have any plans on how to do that coming into a big game?
It's a good question, because you do, like big games and so much hype and all of that, you want to kind of be normal in regards to the way you prepare. And again, we put a lot of work in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We want to be loose on Fridays, but focused, and then let it rip on Saturdays. And so we're going to try to do that, because there is going to be a bunch. Count on it, a bunch of energy in this stadium, and yeah, playing a big time opponent. And I think these guys will handle it well.
Thank you.
From a defensive standpoint, obviously you guys have played a lot of teams who've been playing 2 quarterbacks throughout the entire games. Now these final 2, obviously not easy quarterbacks to defend, but is it some weight off you guys' shoulders to only have to, focus in and read 1 quarterback rather than 2 every week?
Yeah, I wish it was a little bit weight off our shoulders with the one guy we'll see next week, and then obviously the following. Those 2 guys are big time players and all of that. But if Taylor DeBoer wants to mix in a little second quarterback, take minutes out the game, put another guy in, I'm totally good.
Pretty good.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys. Send that to him right now.